Beautiful. Welcome to game number 3, Masters of Mega Random. This is the final set of matches, and you can see on the scoreboard that TaToH has won games 1 and 2. So Tim right now is up against the wall. He does not have any Rees left, and he's going to have to play this Castle Age start random Civ game, and he's going to have to win. This is a best of 5. Tim loses this one, he is screwed, and he is going to be up against TaToH on 2 TCs. So both players starting in the Castle Age with a double TC start. We did see a triple TC game earlier that got read out of. So and Tim was the one who read out of that game. So maybe Tim does not like the multiple TC starts, but he's going to have to play one here. He doesn't have any Rees left. TaToH will have a chance to re if he wants to. 2 scouts on the field for both players. Limiting resources is usually a big issue in Mega Random. And what is limiting on this map? If we look just at first blush, it looks like there's not a whole lot of stone. It looks like there's not a whole lot of gold. Thank you so much for the donation, LB10. I will thank you properly after this game, but thanks so much. We do see gold piles inside of the wood line. That does not count as a bugged map in Mega Random. That's part of the game. Berries on the back for the blue player. But yeah, gold and stone here are going to be limiting. There's plenty of wood on this map. There's a fair amount of free food. You can see deer patches and boars for each of these TCs. But yeah, in general, we're going to have to see how these players play without gold and stone. It's going to be a difficult game for both civs. It's always nice to get castles up and drop some Mangadai if you're Mongols, or get some, foot archers. Sorry, my brain is not working anymore, if you're Mayans. But in this case, we are going to see a very gold poor game. We don't see any relics on this map either. You can relic victory in Masters of Mega Random. You can also wonder victory, but I don't think either of those is going to be a real possibility. There's just not enough stone really to try to wall up and wonder. Yeah. So we're going to see this game play out as it happens. You can see TaToH has a pretty big score lead already, has +1 advantage on villager count, has bloodline scouts. You do get those upgrades for free. On the other side, we will see Eagle Warriors, and we'll see a couple of sheep being stolen. So Tim's going to have the Eagle Warriors here early on. He's going to be prowling around with them together. He had previously been splitting up his scouts. In this case, he will not be splitting them up. Going to keep them together and maybe pick off some vills of TaToH. TaToH keeping his scouts together as well. Can certainly grab a vill if he finds one who's out in no man's land. Right now, Tim is being very, very conservative with his vills. He's keeping them very close to the TC, as is TaToH. So we aren't going to see any villager picks here very early, at least not that I can see. You can also lame deer. You can lame in this tournament. We could see Tim lame all of these deer. I think that would be a nice play from him. For the moment, though, he's not going to do it, and Tim's going to be here on the spot to see TaToH's stable. We do still have time for a re. There is 6 minutes to re in these particular matches, so we may see one. TaToH is not going to get the jump on Tim. He's going to have a night out, but Tim's going to know that that it's coming. Tim on the other side will have an early barracks, so he can start building more eagles if he so chooses. And yeah, for the moment, we're just booming our way through this one. TaToH up by 1 vill. House just for a moment. We will probably see that. You know, these two players are top pros, but managing 2 TCs right off the bat is actually pretty darn tricky. And here we go. Tim's going to be in on that wood line. He had a chance to try to pick a vill, but he's going to leave and he's going to come back. Okay, he's actually going to be all right on this. So Tim he's going to certainly push TaToH off this wood line. He may not grab a vill. They are loomed. He's going to be hard pressed to steal one, but Tim's going to be over here with a knight to try to fight these eagles. So Tim early on here is going to be aggressive with his eagles, keeping them together, doing really good scouting. TaToH on the other side has scouted both of Tim's TCs. Actually, Tim here has only scouted one of TaToH's TCs. He's going to be fighting a knight on the front, and is he going to lose both eagles to this knight? By the looks of it, he is. So that is not good at all for Tim. Tim's going to lose both of his eagles on the front, and he's not going to have any map reveal again this game. This has been a problem for him over and over. Tim's going to drop a TC in the middle of his previous 2 TCs, so he will be on 3. That will be on a safe stone pile. He'll also have a little bit of a wood line there. Tim probably should build a mining camp over nearer to that gold. Seems more efficient, but for now, he does not have the wood to do it. TaToH has 3 scouts and a knight on the map. He's going to continue to try to control this thing. Tim is housed. Like I said, it's going to be something you see a lot. At the moment, it's 33 vills for each player. Tim can out-boom TaToH here in the long run with 3 TCs, but TaToH will be prowling around the map with that cavalry. And Tim still doesn't really know about this left-hand TC from TaToH. TaToH's TC on the left is totally a blind spot for Tim. Not that it's a big deal. Tim knows it's there. He knows what's going on there. It's just the villagers booming up, but that is going to be a problem for him in the long run, I think. You certainly want to know where your opponent's resources are. He does know where that gold pile is, so that's good for Tim. But we'll see how that plays out in the late game. Anyway, for now, the scouts with bloodlines and +1 and a knight are in. They are continuing to annoy. Tim is going to try to defend as well as he can with spears. If we look at resources, both players are spending it as fast as they can get it. Tim is going to stonewall himself in, or he's going to try to. He's not going to get this really done in time. TaToH's going to not only sniff it out, but walk right through it and maybe grab a fill. So Tim here is, he's going to fight this. He'll be okay. But Tim here is, he's been found out. TaToH knows that he's trying to stonewall, and he's going to try to come over and deny it, at least for the time being. Tim's going to have to idle a lot of his eco. He will grab this scout eventually, I think. No, he's just going to run straight back to the TC. So Tim is trying to finish this wall. TaToH right now sees that last vill. He needs to go, well, he doesn't need to go kill it, but he certainly could if he wants to. If he wants to deny the wall, he can come and grab this vill, and here he goes. Tim may be able to get a couple of hammers down on each panel if he wants. Yeah, he's going to just quick wall that up. Sorry for the lag, a little bit of lag in these games. Tim is going to finish that wall at least enough for now, but TaToH is in on that side. TaToH's going to push again. He's going to have a siege workshop on the front, and the push is going to be real for him. For now, Tim is defending with a couple of spears and an eagle warrior, and he is probably totally unaware of TaToH's aggression because he doesn't have a scout. TaToH's going to build a siege workshop on that hill. He's going to have a scout over there ready, and this is looking really, really bad for Tim. Tim's going to wall up here on the front and try to push toward his TC. TaToH's still prowling around with cavalry. Oh, my Lanta. What a game we got going on here. So, yeah, for the moment, these cavalry for TaToH are working their way in. Apologize for the lag here for a second. Let's pause it and see what else is going on the map. So TaToH is still on 2 TCs. That is probably going to be plenty for him this game if he's going to push and be aggressive. So right now he's just booming up on 2 TCs. Actually has a 1 villager advantage. Tim is on 3. He's trying to maybe villager his way out of this problem. He has a monk on the way. So he should be able to very soon maybe push back some of this cavalry. But it is primarily scouts, which are obviously quite resistant to monks. So we'll jump into this thing at full speed and see if these guys have righted the lag issues. But for right now, TaToH is just happily running around through Tim's economy, and he is going to be able to really do whatever he wants here. The monks are not going to be enough. All right. Just a reminder, this is a best of 5. This is game 3. If TaToH wins this, it's going to be over, and he is going to be the victor. $500, I believe, to the winner, $300 to second place. So a really, really nice payday for both of these guys today. But we'll see if Tim can earn that extra $200 with a maybe a come-from-behind victory here. He certainly feels like he's behind. All right, still working our way through kind of a patchy game, a little bit of lag here, but we will get there. You can see Tim is really reinforcing with many, many spears now. He is really committed to spear aggression. TaToH is, he's got a knight here in the corner that could get converted. It is sort of out in no man's land by itself. Here we go, monk versus knight. Let's see how this goes. It is sort of a roll of the dice how fast the conversion will go. And Tim will convert that knight. He will also push TaToH scouts away. I wonder if it's time for TaToH to run those scouts all the way back to his forward area where the siege workshop is, and maybe just wait for his push to beef up a little bit more. I wonder if that's the plan. But we do see light cav here from TaToH. So for the moment, Tim has fended this off. He's continuing to palisade himself in to protect himself from raiding from TaToH. TaToH has decided to go back in rather than head out. He's going to be able to grab this monk down probably for free. Using the light cav now to grab vills. He is fighting quite a few spears here, so that's eventually going to get cleaned up. But I guess he wants to get some bang for this for the buck on these scouts for the moment. Continuing to run through and annoy Tim, make Tim react, and make him click all around the map and figure things out. Scouts are still running through, still idling this gold that Tim, for the moment, cannot take. On the front, we see TaToH with the siege workshop, and he's going to start pushing right away. There's only 1 scout at the moment in defense of that siege workshop. Here's a second. 1 light cav, I should say. So in general, it's a little bit out there on its own, but he'll be on top of the hill, hitting this TC and probably getting in a lot of damage. The only thing that could happen to him, I guess, is if there's any military whatsoever from Tim, he can probably run in and snipe that mangonel for free. TaToH's going to keep active with the light cav. He is going to take some pokes and probably lose these calves eventually, but he's just happily grabbing down vills, and he now has a 5-villager advantage. He's here on the front, pushing on this TC. Tim is going to reinforce with a castle. And bless you, Chow Lucy. Tim is going to reinforce with a castle, but he doesn't have that many units here building it. TaToH is going to... his light cav are not on enough HP to really come in at these vills. So for the moment, it looks like Tim will get that castle up. He may actually snipe that mangonel like we were talking about. Light cav need to respond to this very quickly from TaToH, and they're not... Yeah, they're going to get there just in time, and TaToH's actually going to snipe a vill with the mangonel. So TaToH will lose his mangonel, he will lose his light cavalry that are forward, but in the end, he's going to be a winner in this exchange. He's up by 10 vills. Tim has 20 idols, and I do hear camels. Interesting, that must be a misclick. TaToH has a camel out, maybe just to clean up this one knight. I'm not sure, but he does have a camel, which is very interesting. Camels are really great versus cavalry, but Mayans don't build cavalry. So we'll see what his plan is. He's going to clean this knight up. It has to be, just has to be a misclick. No big deal. Anyway, he's going to be grabbing down spears here, pretty much for free. Going to use his mangonel to snipe there. A little bit of friendly fire, but it's all good. In the end, he's going to get the job done. So yeah, for the moment, TaToH is here. He's making a bit of a push. He has a couple of units on the field. Going to be up with an archery range quite soon. Tim, on the other side, is, well, he's trying to build the castle and stop the bleeding. TaToH is pushing on him once again. TaToH has been pushing on Tim every single game that we've seen, and so far it has been the right strategy. TaToH will have a 3rd TC up very soon on his stone pile. Maybe he will build a castle and a 4th TC as well. So TaToH will be on 4 TCs, and he's going to be on stone. So he's going to take his foot off the gas a little bit here, I think. He's probably going to see what he can get done with the mangonels that are on the front. But in general, his resource right now is being invested in TCs. Villager is going to have to come over and try to repair this mangonel in time. Tim is maybe going to snipe it with that Eagle Warrior. Monk in play, going to get a conversion probably on that camel very shortly. But again, we're experiencing just a little bit of lag here in the game. TaToH will grab the monk, which is actually a really nice shot. Nice mangonel shot. Very effective use of it. In the end, he may be able to defend this camel, one would think, but he doesn't have any units really very close by. Triple archery range is coming for TaToH on the front. He's going to continue to try to push, even though he's putting a lot of money into his eco. Camels and scouts on the other side. Looks like, for the moment, Tim is going to right the ship. TaToH's going to turtle up and start to boom up his eco. Archery range is coming for TaToH. Seems to be in good shape. For the moment, the camels and the scouts here will probably eventually clean this up, but Tim doing a nice little bit of micro to run that camel around. Now TaToH's getting some free hits on the spear here, but eventually it will die, and Tim will take this fight on the front and throw that camel away. Nope, he won't. He's going to run away just in time. So, for the moment, it is a bit of a stalemate in the middle, which is just fine if you're TaToH, who's now up by 8 vills. Tim, on the other side, has 1, 2, 3 TCs at the moment. He's going to eventually get outboomed, but he looks like he might be coming over here to maybe drop another. What are these vills going to do? Maybe a mining camp, maybe a TC. We'll see. Anyway, for the moment, TaToH just reinforcing his side with a makeshift wall. Tim is going to, he's going to build a mill on these deer. He's going to get his food eco going. So Tim may be investing a little bit more in food than in gold right now, which is interesting. Maybe we'll see trash from Tim to try to hold this back. I'm not sure. But we are going to see skirms from TaToH. And here come those beautiful plumed archers from Tim. So Tim got the early castle. I suppose it makes sense to build those plumes quite early. TaToH will be there with some skirms on the hill to maybe fight those plumes for the moment. We do have another mangonel in play, so TaToH can continue to keep the pressure on Tim. TaToH has the extra TC. He's now up by 9 vills, and he probably will continue to keep rolling forward on that advantage number. Both players really not floating any resource whatsoever, so we're going to see a Castle Age battle, at least for the time being. So TaToH's pushing here on the front. He's going to get some damage on this TC. He's also going to make villagers idle, having to garrison it. We do have a camel out. It's going to last for a second or so, but these skirms will clean it up. A couple eagles will be much more resistant to the skirms here. This is a little bit of maybe unfortunate, maybe just a bad play from TaToH. He's fighting skirms versus... you know what, though? Tim, in the end, is going to get cleaned up. He really should have focused on the mangonels and not on the skirms. Anyway, here I am playing Monday morning quarterback like I actually know what I'm talking about. Here comes Tim into the back with those beautiful plumes. He's going to try to run into the back of TaToH's eco, but TaToH has walled that up. So he's going to have to run right across the face of this TC. And behind those plumes, right after they walk past, TaToH's going to walk the other way with a bunch of vills. If Tim finds this, he's going to actually get some free vills, which could be really beneficial to him. TaToH's in on the back with a light cav. He is grabbing vills, and those vills are fighting for the moment, but they're going to go down. He's going to lose several villagers there, and that TC will go up much more slowly. Tim did not find those villagers who were sneaking around the front. They're going to build double stable and start taking the gold in the middle. So TaToH has map control here. He has a 5-villager advantage at the moment, and he is starting to idle a bit of Tim's eco, which is nice. Tim, though, is going to build another TC. He's going to eventually clean up TaToH's aggression, and let's see. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how things go here. TaToH here still is on the front. He's got a little bit of knowledge of the map. Here come more Eagle Warriors though from Tim. Tim had to be listening to me because he's going to head straight toward the mangonel this time. He's going to get that pretty much for free. And now TaToH's army there on the front is just skirms. TaToH will have more light cav coming from the side. That's a very smart play. He will also clean up Tim's archers in the back. Tim's going to lame a few deer here, and he's going to run around the map and try to keep TaToH busy, but he's going to get cleaned up. TaToH sending just the right amount of skirms to take care of those guys. TaToH will come and castle drop Tim, but he may not get it up. Oh, he will get it up, because here come elite skirms to defend. Elite skirms should be fine in here to block off these those plumed archers. More light cav and more knights coming from TaToH. And he continues to push. His initial push, his initial forward here has been a little bit abandoned. There's just a mangonel out there on its own. Tim can go snipe it for free, and it looks like he will right now. But TaToH has sort of shifted his focus to the other side. He's building Castle and Siege Workshop there, and he's going to really paralyze a lot of the eco from both of these TCs. Mangonel is out, could get a good shot in on these, good shot in on the vills, but only gets 1 kill. In the end, the mangonel will probably get sniped down. It doesn't get a whole lot of bang for its buck yet. Yeah, not really. Got a couple of skirms. It's still alive. Got a couple more vills, so Tim's doing a really nice job here. He is going to lose that to knights eventually, and the castle will get finished here from TaToH eventually. But nice defending from Tim. He did a good job to make TaToH earn that castle. TaToH is still on top of the hill with elite skirms and mangonels, and a mangonel still pushing on the top. Mangonai now coming for TaToH, and he can start to run in here and start raiding this area. It will also do well against Tim's siege units, which are garrisoned at the moment. He just has 1 mangonel in there. But if there is a siege push later in the game, having those will be very nice. Sorry about that, guys. Just getting permission from the wife to continue to stream. I'm just kidding. So Tim has clicked up to Imperial. We are still seeing a couple spots of lag here and there. Tim will try to put a defensive castle down. He'll get it up eventually, but these elite skirms are going to be a real annoyance for him. He's going to actually start losing vills to those. Luchador says hi to Chow Lucy. Yeah, Mangonel on the bottom of the hill here for Tim is going to push these elite skirms back for a moment. He's still got that TC up, but at what expense? Vills garrisoned in it and other vills working, but nice shot from Tim. So he is actually starting to slow TaToH's momentum here quite a lot. He's doing a really nice job to basically get good trades. In the end, though, Tim will lose that castle on the side. TaToH's rams here will probably take down this TC, and he's going to be in trouble. Tim is going to be in trouble. Losing that TC is a big deal. TaToH still clinging to the hill, which is beautiful. Gotta love the hill clinging. TaToH's going to come forward and drop another castle right in front of these walls. That will help reinforce probably more rams that can come and knock that wall down pretty quickly. Elite skirms on the other side in support with some Mangonai, with some knights. Knights have to run in here and maybe grab these mangonels before they do too much damage. Looks like they will. Looks like TaToH's going to be just fine. Yeah, so for the moment, Tim was going to try again to get a castle up, but he's going to lose more units in the process because TaToH is already there. He's already walking that way with elite skirms, and here he comes to knock down the siege workshop. So TaToH building a castle. Tim is going to get this one up. He has so many units here, but he's going to lose some. He's certainly going to lose quite a few units in the long run. Skirm's not doing a ton of damage, and actually the Mangudai got picked off, but the Knight here will grab a few more vills and at least annoy Tim's eco as much as possible. So Tim's eco is in a little bit of trouble, lost another TC. At the moment, he is down by 15 vills. He's still trying to stabilize the ship. He's trying to get something going positive for him. But TaToH is continuing to push and annoy. TaToH is mining happily that extra gold pile that was in between the two players, and TaToH is now actually mining Tim's gold pile on this side. So he is doing a really great job of controlling the map. He's going to have really all of the gold income here in just a few minutes when Tim finishes mining his last panel of gold. TaToH has a hole in the other side now, and he's going to be raiding with knights. He's been doing a very good job at fighting on multiple fronts this game. The one thing in Tim's favor is that he will be into the Imperial Age very early, but what is he going to build now that he's Imperial? For the moment, it is going to be a bunch of stone walls. He'll get those down. There's just a couple of elite skirms here, but there are knights in the other side of his eco. So Tim is trying to turtle up here and maybe defend and right the ship, but TaToH is hitting him on almost every front. At the moment, this TC is under duress from the castle. We have a couple siege workshops here, probably garrisoned with rams. Yes, more rams coming, more knights coming from TaToH. Skirms on this side and knights on the top side. TaToH is everywhere. He's anywhere and everywhere he wants to be. Isn't that American Express? It's everywhere you want to be. TaToH is American Express this game. He's Spanish Express. Villagers still getting knocked down. Mangudai in, and they are really just cleaning house. Tim is going to get this TC up, but again, at what expense? He's been over and over, he's been losing villagers that are building buildings. And here he goes, he's going to lose several more. He's now going to be down by 40 vills. 40 villager advantage for TaToH, who controls the entire map and is starting to build up rams. And maybe he's taken a bit of a victory lap here. Tim's going to have some trebs in, and he's going to try to take this castle down and take back over this part of the map. But it seems like a really, really tough, it seems like a huge uphill battle for him right now. TaToH's going to repair that castle for now and try to keep it up. Here come rams to try to take down those trebs. That should do a good job for TaToH, and TaToH is in and pushing on the other side. Knights working their way around through the eco. Tim is just in so much trouble, and it might be time to start warming the fat lady's voice up, because this one looks like it's in the books. Tim may come back from this. If he does, it will be epic, and if he does, it may actually spell doom for TaToH. How do you... If you lose a game like this, you may never actually recover in the series, but I just don't see how Tim's going to do it. For now, he's going to be rushing down rams with vills, which is actually going to be pretty effective because the knights are all gone. Here come a few more knights from TaToH. They can grab some vills. This castle will almost certainly go down very quickly. And yeah, Tim is still in with knights on one side of the eco, still in on the other side with skirms, and here comes TaToH to knock down that castle. So it's looking very, very bleak for Tim here. It looks like he's going to hang on for a minute and make sure that TaToH earns this one, but it seems like this one, the writing is probably on the wall. Tim, at this point, to his credit, has a mangonel, and I thought those might be archers garrisoned inside the castle, but they're villagers. So Tim's in a whole lot of trouble here. TaToH continues to push on multiple fronts. Has sort of given up that front pushing out here because he took down that TC, took down the castle, took down a TC over here as well. So for the moment, yeah, TaToH is just pushing anywhere and everywhere. Spanish Express is everywhere you want to be. Still fighting on all three fronts, still with knights raiding the entire economy here. And there is Tim. Good luck and GG. Wow. Amazing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that series as much as I did. TaToH getting the win in game number 3, getting the win in this tournament. And how about that? Not the #1 seed, not the person you maybe expected from day one to win, but he comes in here, plays an incredibly clean set of 3 games. That first game was brilliant. That first game blew me away. I don't know if anybody else anticipated what was going to happen in that first game, but it was brilliant. And TaToH made a great push in Game 2. Here in Game 3, he is going to make a great push as well. And in the end, we will see TaToH with a $500 more in his pocket. We'll see Tim getting 300 for second place, and we will see some bronze final games coming soon as well. So thanks so much for being here. I'm Killer B, a.k.a. Tyler, and yeah, thanks a lot. Hope you enjoyed these games as much as I did.